1989, I'm going to hand you off here. Our scopes just went black again. If you care about this, contact your airline and try to get some pressure for them to fix this stuff.
Sorry to hear about that. FedEx 1989 switching. Good luck, guys.
Meantime, another big scare at Newark Liberty Airport as air traffic controller radar screens there went blank again on Friday. Second such incident in as many weeks. Now, by the way, this is all happening as the Trump administration unveils new plans to modernize America's air traffic control system.
There's a four-part infrastructure plan that was released by the Secretary of Transportation yesterday to improve communication, surveillance, automation, and their facilities. I think it's unfortunate that the previous administration sat on their hands and did nothing, but how grateful we are that we have a Department of Transportation and a secretary and a president who's willing to take bold action and change.
For more, let's bring in New Jersey Republican State Senator and candidate for governor, John Bremnick, along with professional aviation safety specialist president Dave Spero. Before I begin with you, John, I want to ask Dave a question. I'm just going to put it out there. I've had conversations with folks associated with the FAA, both on the record and off, and the level of frustration is palpable because if you simply invest and modernize, I mean, I can point to what I've seen in Canada. I'm an aviation fan. As you know, I've flown thousands of hours, maybe hundreds of hours of flight sims and done some private training as well. When I see the lack of modernity, it's shocking to me. Can you understand the frustration?
I can. Thanks for having me on behalf of the 11,000 FAA employees we represent. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about this. Sure, there's frustration. And I will tell you this. The aspect of what we're talking about, the problem that we have right now that's happening for Newark is really not something that our folks have any control over. It's a third-party communication line that's failing. And the automation systems that we certify, maintain, and repair and assure for air traffic controllers that it's working properly is functioning just as it's supposed to be. The problem, which is a part of what you just brought up with regard to the upgrade in the National Airspace System, is the communications portion of it. We don't have a fiber network that connects the New York Terminal Radar Approach Control to Philadelphia, where all this traffic is being controlled from.
John, listen, I fly in and out of Newark fairly regularly, probably once, if not twice every couple of months. It's an obviously very popular destination for folks who live in the tri-state area, and I'm just wondering what the hell's going on up there?
Well, can you imagine an air traffic controller has to ask a pilot to lobby his own company in order to get changes? I mean, that's surreal. And some wire breaks. Now, it is amazing to me for the last 5 years or decade that this was not a crisis. Government only works well in a crisis. Somehow these bureaucracies fail the people. And now I see that Sean Duffy is going to actually try to invest in our air traffic system because people are now afraid. I get these calls all the time now. They want to go to a different airport. We don't need that in New Jersey. United's a major hub. It's a major job producer. This is a very important airport, so we need to take the fear out of flying out of Newark. So that's going to be my job. And as governor, to be honest with you, I'll have my hands all over this.
Well, let me tell you, if you are elected governor, you will have your hands all over it because you know how critical to the tri-state area Newark is. People talk about LaGuardia. I know I'd shuttle, obviously, JFK International, but Newark is right in there. And it has to be right. We can't have system disruption because of a lack of modernity, or in this case, simply a lack of proper training and or equipment. Let me share this. This is from Caroline Levitt, the White House press secretary. She referenced the transportation secretary, good colleague and friend of mine, Sean Duffy. Listen to what she had to say about what they're trying to do to get things actually up and on the up and up. Basically, what she says is a four-part infrastructure plan released by the Transportation Secretary, improved communication, surveillance, automation of their facilities. And it's unfortunate that what has happened so far, Dave, but they're working on it, it would appear, as you take a look at their weather stations as well.
Yeah, they're working on it. And you know, this is a specific fix. You don't have this problem everywhere in the country. I will tell you, though, there are a lot of our systems around the country outside of those systems that they're talking about building and recreating that are inside the fence at the airports around the country. Instrument landing systems, VORs, radar systems are on the table, obviously. A lot of the controls, the visual aids that you see, those flashing lights. That are there available for you when you're landing. All of that stuff needs modernization as well. Those aren't the bright, shiny objects that we're seeing in the four-part plan, and we're looking forward to seeing that happen as well. If we're going to upgrade this national airspace system, then we want to do it soup to nuts. Let's get it done. Let's get it over with. It's going to take time and care and thoughtfulness, and our members are ready to work with the administration to get this done.
John, we've got about 15 seconds. Wrap us up.
The FAA needs to come out now, do a press conference, and tell people it's safe. I haven't heard that. People in New Jersey need to know that. Otherwise, we are going to have a real problem here at Newark Airport. It's
got to happen, and I know the Transportation Secretary is working on it. We need more. We need it fast. We need it now. John and Dave, thank you so much. John Bramnick and Dave Sparrow. John, by the way, running for governor in the Garden State. Thank you, men. Appreciate that.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.